And today I'm going to show you how to make one of those tiny hats. The first thing you're going to need is some type of lid, and this is from a salad dressing, and believe it or not, the top is bigger than the base, so it has a really nice shape to it. It almost looks like a marshmallow, but it's not. Next thing you'll be needing is a piece of chipboard, a pencil, and one of these little screws. So this is the assemblage that you'll need to be creating your hat. Now, the first thing we need to do is we need to take the cap and turn it over, because it's going to show us the size, and we want to make a tracing in the center of our chipboard. Show the size. Doesn't have to be perfect. And then we want to go a bit out more, because we're going to be creating a hat around this size. And the next thing we need to do is cut that circle out. Once we get our circle cut out, we're going to be using a hot glue gun today and applying the hot glue down to the base of our cap, and very carefully center it right in the middle of our circles, like boom. Okay, and let that dry for a few minutes. Now, once your piece is fused, we're going to now use a Etcho blade, and we're going to cut very carefully out the center part of our hat. There. A very important element that you need to add are sides to your hat, because each hat curled up on the side, so you need to add a small rim of clay extra onto, you can see right there, a small extra rim of clay, and then fold it up like this. And you want to repeat that to the other side. So let's do that now. Make a small rim, add it, just fold it up. Feel the clay is a very, very easy clay to work with. Now, if you have too much on there, all you need to do, use your scissors, very gently cut away the excess that you don't need. Mold it in shape. Nicely curl them up. Look at that. Once you get this to the shape and the size of the top hat that you want, you're going to put this aside and let this dry now for 24 hours, and then we'll add the hook. Alright, looks like we're doing really well here. I'm going to put a nice little dab of hot glue on there. You can see I got a cobweb coming out there, and we're just going to let that cool a little bit, and I'm going to put our washer right in there. And I'm going to turn this, turn that like this, okay? And we're going to let that cool now. Once you get this cooled, we're set to go, because we can then paint that. Now wait a minute, just stop for a moment. Now, I don't know what kind of hat you like here, because if you're into the black hat style here, that's great. If you want it white, hey, I've seen them white too. Usually, because you're talking to someone who loves goth, we do have people who dress up in like mopey style and, you know, traditional goth, and then we also have another area called white goth. So if you know anything about white goth, it's like, how do I describe that? It is Morticia Adams' sister Ophelia. They were sisters, but they dressed in opposite colors, so equally as dark. So there you go, and let's let that dry. Okay, so it's time to paint. I'm using an Alpha Black 999 and a stiff brush. Now this paint here is a little bit on the thick side. So if you want a more thicker acrylic, I would highly recommend you just leaving the cap off for a little bit of time, so the water molecules kind of fade out, so you have a more of a thicker paint here. Because sometimes when you're applying the acrylic paint to plastic, it will not take. So I've had this one for quite some time, and it works beautifully. So we're just painting up today, and I'm gonna leave our loop on the top over here silver. I really want that to stand out. You can probably see how it's not exactly taking very well here because we got plastic on plastic, acrylic, plastic paint over here, and then I'm just going to paint this up very, very nicely. Once this is done, we'll find the appropriate ribbon or string to hang up our little top hats and see what they look like. So I finished off these little top hats, really clever. Now I got something extra special today here. Look at that. That is black satin ribbon, and I wanted to put that one band of black satin ribbon around the base of each and every one of the hats that I make, and that's really gonna spruce it up quite a bit. So let's cut that to the right size, get our hot glue gun up, and get those on there. Okay, so I'm just gonna put these little guys on my fingers. I love how this is overexposed right at the moment. Satin ribbons around both of them, little tiny top hats. Very, very, very stylish, easy to make. Goth of the Morning to you.